Hey everyone, Tetracubing here, and today I guess we'll just be assigning a color to each WCA event. So the reason why I decided to do this was just because I thought that the concept of assigning colors to things, it's a bit arbitrary and I find it kind of interesting. We do it for a school subject, and I actually found an old document of mine from the last edit was nearly 2 years ago, where I did this for not just school subjects, but for other stuff too, like days of the week, months, numbers, and I wrote explanations, and they're not consistent. Like August red, September purple, August purple, September red. So yeah, and then I don't have explanations for the numbers. But if you want to like pause and read through these, see why I decided to choose like these colors, then yeah, you can pause and read that. But that's not the point of this video. So I'll just be going over WCA event colors. Of course, you have just the 17 WCA events here. And then I think that I've thought about kind of the format of how I'm gonna do this. Like certain sets of events will be in certain places, but I haven't really planned it out too much. But I do know what I'm gonna do for 2 through 7 definitely. So I'm actually just gonna start in 3x3. So I think 3x3 is blue, just because blue is like a very standard color, I guess. It's also like the color of stackment timers, and I just feel like 3x3. It just feels right to have the standard event of the WCA be blue. So we're just gonna make that blue. I think that shade's good for now. 2x2, I'm gonna say white. The reason why is just because it's because like the old like old videos of 2x2s. Like I see a lot of white 2x2s in those old videos. So I think I associate 2x2 with those white 2x2s for some reason. Yeah, that's I really don't have that much more to say because this is like I said, can be very arbitrary, and this obviously like not really like a reason. That's just like what I think. But yeah. Okay, so for 4x4, I'm gonna say dark green, and part of the reason why is just because the way that I want to kind of use the 6 standard colors on a cube for 2 through 7, because it's like that. I feel like that makes sense. And then I feel like as the bigger cubes get more difficult, then like it should get like warmer colors, like closer to red. So that's kind of the only reason why I'm doing this. So green, yellow, orange, and then finally here you'll get red. So as you can see, it's all the 6 standard colors you can find on a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. I can't show white. Wait. Wait, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's basically why I chose these colors, because they cubes get more difficult, as you can see. And then I'm going to skip the 3x3 variants for now, because I do have something in mind for them, but I want to get to the other stuff first. So, for the side events, I thought of doing all pastel colors, because the side events are like, they're side events, so they're not as prominent as, I mean, I love some of these side events definitely. Like one of them is like one of my main events, so I can't. I'm not trying to say the side events aren't important. They're just like they're side events. So I feel like pastel colors would be a good idea for them. So for clock is well not my clock because my clock is customized. So yeah, but for most people's clocks, like the standard cheat clock, it is black and white, and so then the pastel color for that would just be like a light gray. Anything like this fits clock well. It's like a grayscale color. And then for Megaminx, I think purple makes a lot of sense because it's the only WC event that actually has purple. Then once again, we're doing pastel colors. Pyraminx starts with P, pink starts with P. That's kind of my logic here. That's not really very. Oh no, I changed the border instead. So yeah. So I think this is pink. Maybe this is pink. No, that looks terrible. Uh, this is pink, except that also looks terrible, so I'm just gonna stick to this, and it looks a bit reddish, but I'm gonna call that pastel pink. Okay, so for Skewb is, I feel like it's because I have a lot of cases where I've gotten third place in Skewb. I think it's by far my most common podium in a competition, so I think I just associate Skewb with I did that again. I changed the border instead of the other thing, but I associate Skewb with like a light, like orange color because that's similar enough to bronze, and that's just what I'm gonna stick with. And actually, it's because of like the next thing that I'm gonna do, I might actually just switch back to this shade of pink, or no, I can create my own shade, which is probably the best idea. Pink, that looks pink enough. Maybe like, yeah, like that. Maybe that should be good. Yeah, that looks pretty good for just pure mix pastel pink. Maybe it's not that pastel, but it gets the point across. For square one, I'm gonna choose red because the way you scramble it, the way you scramble square one, right? You just have red in front, like that's in the WCA regulations where there are two possible scrambling positions, and the darker color in front. Pretty much, I actually haven't met anyone who doesn't use uh, square one where red shouldn't be in the front. So that's kind of how did I do that 3 times in a row? It's okay. But like yeah, that's why I associate square one with the color red. Now let's move this back, and then maybe I should change this back to the lighter pastel color. Actually, no, it's like this doesn't look very pastel. This is like, I think we'll have to make another custom color for this. Like there, it's like lavenderish, but that gets the point across. So okay, I might just change this color back, make it a bit lighter. Okay, great. Now we have all the colors that are nice and pastel-ish. Then for the blind event, 3 blind, 4 blind, 5 blind, I think do something similar, like with these the same colors but just pastel. I feel like that makes sense because like blindfolded solving, you can't see the cube. I keep changing the border. I swear I will never do that again. So yeah, it's like because in cubing, when you're doing blindfolded, you can't see the cube, so it's like pastel because it's like lighter. Maybe like that's my logic here. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, here 4 blind. I'm just gonna keep it the same way. 5 blind. Oh, yeah, sure that works, I guess. And then for so 2 by 2's done, and it looks like it's not done because it's white. So I guess yeah, I'll just keep it like that, and then for these I might actually have to pause and like think for these ones. So yeah. Okay, after a few minutes of contemplation, I think I've come up with something that kind of makes sense. So we have red, we have like all the 6 standard WCA colors as well as pastel versions for each of them. We also have pastel purple and pink. We don't have actual purple and pink, so I'm thinking of assigning purple and pink to these two kind of. Then the reason why is that for FMC it's like there's an eraser here. Erasers are generally pink, so that's why I kind of hate this color of pink, this shade of pink. So like I'll tone it down a bit, I guess, like that. That should be okay. That doesn't look too pastel, but maybe I would change it a bit more to make it clear this is not pastel pink. I think that's pretty good. And then for OH, I guess purple's the only one that's kind of left, if you get what I mean. And honestly, so OH and purple, that seems to be kind of right. I don't have a reason for like why I think OH is purple, but maybe I'll come back to this one. And for multiblind, I do have a reason for this one. So a single 303 cube is like light blue, and then multiblind is like it's like so many cubes. It's like kind of chaotic, and like I feel like a color that like kind of demonstrates chaos is cyan. Like it looks so bright. So I feel like if I were to actually do multiblind, then like just be cube after cube after cube after cube, and then I'll just like it just like feels right to have like a slightly headache inducing color on here. So I guess that wraps it up for now. I might like pause a bit to think about why I chose purple for OH, but okay. Okay, so I think it's just because for purple, I think it's associate the color with pain for some reason, and I feel like I just don't like practicing OH because I get a lot of wrist pain from it if I practice too much. So I think that's like the reason why. The only reason why it's purple is because I hate practicing OH. So yeah, this is my final table of stuff that I think corresponds to each WCA event. Let me know what you think of this list in the comments if you want to change anything, or you want to know a bit more about my explanations for why I chose each color for each event. And I hope this video is enjoyable, and I'll see you guys all next time.